Howdy everybody, Rick here. So today is going to be a little bit different than what I normally do on the channel, but The Sims has got me in a chokehold and it is crazy. I have jumped on the bandwagon and I have decided that I am going to do a forever save file because I have played The Sims for as long as The Sims has been around. I have always loved it. I love The Sims. So I would like to have something that I kind of build from scratch. So I've kind of made myself a little bit of rules with this save file. The save file in and of itself is fairly simple. I won't be using any mods, I won't be using any CC, I'll mostly just be using cheats when I absolutely have to, but everything else is kind of just vibes and building story and lore. So the kind of plan that I do have is I would like to do every single world, but some worlds are definitely going to get a hold of before others. Like Sulani, I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of her. I'm scared of her. She's so beautiful. What do you mean? I don't want to touch this. It's gorgeous. And also, I just don't know how to build ocean stuff. But I would like to hop into each world and curate it a little bit to my liking. Just build it from the ground up. So I would really like to make the world's lore bleed into one another and complement one another and build the overall arching story up. A big plan that I do have is to grab a couple of the worlds and make them Appalachian themed and just have the coal mining and logging and just all of the Appalachian, the Rocky Mountains, the Smoky Mountains, all of that. I have not touched all of the worlds. Willow Creek, I know Willow Creek is like the generic starting point for a lot of people, and I have touched a little bit on everything. I've removed some lots and families, and I've upgraded families and gave them makeovers. I broke up the BFFs and I've gave them their own little houses, but they're still neighbors, and I've gave people pets, just kind of updated their overall look. I have added a few lots from the galleries just to be placeholders for the moment so that I know what I want to go there, but that I will come in later and I will change it and I'll upgrade it and make it more what I want it to be. I kind of am using this save file of a little bit of everything. It's not going to be perfect. I don't want to get into that boat where I try to make it perfect, because if I try to make it perfect, I haven't even touched Newcrest, but if I try to make it perfect, then I'm never going to get anything done, and I'm not going to enjoy the process anymore, and it's just going to feel like work. Kind of what I'm doing right now with the save is I've added a few of my own Sims, but I've really just been working on Sims that are already in the game. So, like I said, Willow Creek is like everybody's generic starting spot, but mine has always been Windenburg. I don't know why I always start with Windenburg. I think it's primarily because I love Bjorn. He's like my favorite townie. I'm probably butchering how you say his name, but that's just how I've always called him. I've moved him over here. I've moved him to Brindleton Bay. He has a boyfriend in Brindleton Bay. I've destroyed a family, and also his daughters are over here. So that's a whole thing. Also, Morgan from Windenburg is also here. Moved in with Sophia and Elsa. But the wife is still here. Clara is still here with a toddler. That's cute. I've kind of just been working on the lore. If y'all would like a breakdown of the backstory of all this, well, I guess I could just tell it now. So, kind of what I wanted is I love Bjorn. And I love the girl. I love the girls. And I love Clara too, but I love them separate, if that makes sense. Bjorn got a divorce. He moved to Brindleton Bay for a fresh start. Clara stayed in Windenburg with the girls until Sophia saved up enough money from writing songs to be able to get her own apartment. And then she took Elsa. Also, when I first started, I accidentally left neighborhood stories on, so this is where Brittany came from. I also changed Clara back to her maiden name. She doesn't have a canonical maiden name, and she also gave it to her newest daughter that she also had with Bjorn. I changed it to Korhanen, which I'm definitely butchering that. Please do not come at me. I already know I don't listen to my accent. You think I was made to say these words right? I wouldn't. But I literally just looked up like popular Scandinavian last names, and this is the surname that was like, oh, this one's really popular. And I was like, perfect. Clara's gonna love this. So I just slapped it on. So the story with Bjorn and Jacoby is a sim that I made. I wanted a sailor man who was going to be a lighthouse keeper, and then he accidentally fell in love with Bjorn, and they're engaged, I think, currently, and they have 2 cats named Miss Red and Cashew. But the thing is that I made Miss Red with Jacoby because she's his cat. And then while I was waiting for Jacoby to move in with Bjorn, I got him to adopt a cat without really thinking, and it turns out they adopted the same looking cat. These cats look identical, so I had to put Cashew in a little dress with a little bell collar so I know which cat is which. So that's a whole thing. And then I have Sophia and Elsa and Morgan over here. They are living together. They're still teenagers. Well, Elsa's a little girly, but Sophia and Morgan are both still teenagers. But the reason that they are able to afford this house was primarily because, one, Sophia was not digging how Clara was like raising everybody and how she was handling the divorce. So she kind of just grabbed Elsa and was like, I can't take the baby, but I can take you. We're moving out. And originally they were in Copperdale in this household just to kind of be like, okay, this was cheap and they're free. But then Sophia and Morgan meet in high school and they really hit it off. They have bad compatibility, but they're still best friends. And they both have like raging crushes on one another. And so Morgan was like, yeah, I want to run away from my family. That sounds great. I'll move in. So now she's still going through school and she's a streamer on the side to gain a little money. And Sophia is still in high school. She's a notable newcomer and she is licensing her songs. And that is how they are getting money to afford this house and survive, which I love this plot line. I switch between these 2 households the most, which leads me into the kind of thing that I really didn't realize happen or that would happen with a Forever Save file is I got a little burnt out and I was like, dang, I don't know what to do. I'm getting burned out of this story. And then I was like, bro, just make a different story. So over in San Manchuno, I have a different story going. I have Dorothy Hayden. She is a politician and she is just a trans girly and she's working to become the mayor of San Manchuno. I love the plot line that I gave her mostly because of the club. So if I ever end up doing a let's play more in depth of The Sims, you will quickly learn I love clubs because I have very bad memory and I forget who is your best friend and like who's your your siblings and your cousins and stuff like that. So a lot of times I will just make clubs and it will just be like, okay, well, Dorothy Hayden, let's say Dorothy has like a sister and an uncle and a brother and two grandmas. Okay, well, I'm not going to remember all of that, but I can just make a club and put all of them together and just name that club the Hayden family. And I'm like, perfect. Now I have a club and they'll come over at the push of a button and just hang out and be family and do family stuff. And I know they've added like family reunions and stuff, but that's not the same because I love The Sims and I love the building of lore and stories. So I want it to be a little bit more than just like, okay, well, we're having a family reunion, everybody load up. So I want to have connected families and stories. So I'm slowly working on that. The club that I have for Dorothy is she is a politician and she is a trans woman. So she has a club that is called Women in Red. And basically, it's a bunch of girly pops. They all dress in red, and it's really cute. They go to the festivals and the events in the city, and they kind of just do like fundraisers and they do protests for like LGBT rights and women's rights. They inform people and they fight for equality. And I have never done anything like that. And I think it's so cute. So we've got like Dorothy and like her best friend is Bella Goth. And you know, Bella Goth is a baddie. So Bella Goth is also fighting for women and LGBT rights. And it's really amazing. I love it. I also gave I gave the whole Goth family a little bit of a makeover, and I aged up Alexander. I don't know why I aged up Alexander. I think I was watching another video at some point of just somebody like going through their forever save and being like, oh, I also aged up Alexander. And I was like, you're so right. I don't want kids in this. I don't want kids in Willow Creek. Ain't no kids need to be in Willow Creek. Look at this place. What about this whole town? Looks like it needs kids. But I have added like restaurants and churches and cemeteries and things like that. These are more of placeholders. I don't fully plan to keep them. I got them from the gallery mostly because I this is my forever save, but I do still want to be able to play The Sims, so I don't really want to go in full ham and start bulldozing a lot of lots because then I won't be able to play, and I won't be able to play. So I've kind of just been slowly going. I have built a couple of lots. They're mostly in Moonwood Mill. I have a trailer park, and I have a little shack that I'm gonna do a whole plot line with the sheriff. It's gonna be very cute. Don't even worry about it. I'm excited about it. I just haven't got to the actually making the sheriff yet. Mostly what I have been doing, I've been playing with Bjorn and Sophia and Elsa. I need to get into Clara more because I really do need to age up that little baby that I didn't want that Neighborhood Stories made me take. And I've mostly just kind of been working on like a political climate for some of these worlds because I've never done that as well. I would also like Dorothy while she's over here being all political and a baddie. I think I would also really like her to create a club where it's several of the mayors from other worlds. Like I would want a mayor for like Willows Creek and Strangerville and Oasis Springs and maybe Windenburg and San Manchuno, and just have that so that they come together and meet. I haven't really thought of how I want these worlds to be near one another, and I feel like that would primarily dictate of which worlds would have a mayor in that club, because I might do like a second club where it would be like, okay, well, these are all on one continent, and then we would have like, okay, well, now we're down here and we've got like Sulani, and Sulani is just an island, so why would the mayor of Sulani fly in to see Strangerville's mayor to be like, you still got the problem with the thing with the big plane? That sucks. I got volcanoes. I'ma leave because I still got volcanoes. I don't feel like these two mayors would want to interact as much. But I do feel like the mayor of Strangerville and Oasis Springs would want to talk to one another because I feel like they're close. Also with like Chestnut Ridge, which is crazy. Something you won't believe is I have not touched Chestnut Ridge. The only thing that I have done is I have took one of the lots from a gallery and made the lot across from the horse training thing into a vet clinic because that made logical sense. And also what's her face's horse died, Flapjack died, and that sucks, so I'm gonna have to get like another Flapjack. But besides that, I have not touched this hardly at all, which I think is crazy. Because, like, you know, I love cowboys. Cowboys like my whole shtick, and I haven't touched the cowboy world. I think that's crazy. I need to change that, but I won't because I'm stuck with Bjorn. I feel like I'm kind of all over the place. I can't keep up with what I'm talking about, what I'm doing. But kind of the reason that I wanted to start, I'm gonna go to Sulani because it's just beautiful to look at. Kind of the reason that I wanted to start a forever save file in a forever world is, like I said, I want to build generations and legacies here, but I want those legacies to interact with one another, because I've never been the kind of person to like genuinely get deeply attached to a sim, and I want that. Actually, hold on, record scratch, we're stopping. I'm gonna show y'all the sim that made me decide, okay, yes, I have to have a forever save. It is this asshole, Dayton Decker. I love this man. He is so annoyingly beautiful to me that I was like, you know what, I can never part with this man. He has to stay here. I pulled this man from his family of another save file to put him in my forever save, because the original save file I had with him, I left Neighborhood Stories on and aging and all of that. So Bjorn was already passed away and dead, and I was like, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that. You want me to play The Sims and not have Bjorn in it at all? Not at all? That's crazy. I ain't doing it. So I just pulled Dayton out of his life and I threw him into this save file, and I was like, you're coming home with me. Oh yeah, I made a little frat boy house. I love these boys. They're so grody. they're so sweaty and grody. But I'm slowly building everything out. I have more than what I expected to have. I didn't, like, as I'm actually, like, explaining it and, like, showing everything, I'm like, damn, I had a lot more than what I expected. I didn't think I'd have that. But it's kind of just what the whole point of this is like, if I feel like making a sim, I'll make a sim and I'll just throw them into the world and be like, okay, yeah, you might not have a house, but you're gonna show up at events and chill out. And if I'm in a building mood, then I'll build. Or if I'm in a playing mood, then I'll play. And I just kind of want to not... I don't want to leave this. I want to build stories that I can love and fall in love with and stay passionate about. And if I get burned out, I'll just be like, okay, well, I'm tired of Windenburg and I'm tired of Brindleton Bay. Let's go over to Chestnut Ridge finally. Or finally go to Sulani. But I want to make this elaborate. But not perfect. I don't want to get caught in the perfect the perfectionist loop. I don't want to do it. I know I can do it. I'm very susceptible to being in the perfectionist loop, and right now I'm putting my foot down. I don't know her. I don't want to know her. I don't want to interact with her. I don't want to talk to her. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to play this game, and I want to have fun with it. I want to enjoy it and not be overwhelmed. And I'm already a little overwhelmed by it. I won't even lie. I'm already a little overwhelmed by it, because another thing is that I own all the packs. I own all of the packs. The only pack that I do not own is I don't own the Star Wars one, because I don't like Star Wars, and there ain't no reason that I'm going to want Star Wars in my game. Yeah, there's no reason that I would want Batu near any of these worlds, any of these people. I don't want that. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I don't want it. So, I have all the packs, and it's very overwhelming. Very overwhelming to be like, okay, well, let's start in Willow's Creek. But it's just like, okay, well, now you have a choice. You can get pets, or you can go to college, or you could be a celebrity, or you can do this, or you can become a werewolf, or a vampire, or a mermaid, or a fairy, or whatever these are called, spellcaster. And I'm like, that's so much. And then they want me to take the kids to school, and I love it, but it is overwhelming to be like, okay, well, I don't know all the things in the packs, and I've not utilized all the things in the packs. Well, that means now I have to learn everything that's in the packs, and I'm very overwhelmed by it. But I'm excited by it. That's kind of what I want to do, is like not only build the story and the lore, but I also want to experience like all of the careers. Because like I said, when I would play The Sims, I would usually tend to pick the same exact like career, the same vibes, the same everything, and or more or less close enough. And I haven't been hyping dating up as much as I should, because he completely shook that whole boat for me, because I was like, okay, well, yeah, I'll send him to college and we'll figure it out, and we'll see what he becomes a lawyer. And he did, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, this is so fun. Also, this is not his wife. Ashley, she's not his wife. She's just a lesbian he found at college. And he's just like, okay, well, rent's high, girl. You want to move in? And she's like, yes. Yes, I do. I'm a lesbian. There's no way I can afford rent. So I'm very excited about this save file. And I hope y'all enjoyed my rambling and my explaining of a bunch of stuff. I know I didn't do it really good. I know I'm kind of all over the place. I probably should have scripted better, but instead I was really just excited to show everybody what I've been doing and what I've been vibing with. And like me talking about Clara's like surname took me like 14 tries. So I'm kind of all over the place with it, but it's still, this is a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun with this. And if there's any aspect of the world that you would like more info on, or like me to explore more, I will. Totally, I will. If y'all just want me to do like a little, here's what everybody looks like now because I've gave them makeovers, or this is why I deleted this family and not this family. I don't really have a reason for that, actually. I just kind of, sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I've done my rotational play, it's time for the purge, and then I'll go through and I'll just be like, okay, well, now I gotta start just obliterating people. Also, this guy got a horse because of neighborhood stories. Back at it again. But yeah, sometimes I just scroll through and I'm like, okay, well, I have to purge somebody. There's 3 of you in a line and 1 of you ain't making it. That's kind of just what there ain't no rhyme or reason, which I should probably lock in a little bit more with that, but you know, I'm working on it. I'm still kind of new to like the whole, I am playing a forever save file. I do have to like commit to some bits. But I hope you all have enjoyed this. I am probably going to do more sim videos coming soon, because there's a lot going on. I've got some builds I would like to show off and kind of tell the lore and the story that's gonna go along with them, as well as just like show off all the like all the townies that I've already made over, and just kind of like once I actually start like hashing out the lore and like especially like the Appalachian lore that I'm gonna be putting into everything, I plan to do a video on that, just kind of talking about it and like how the occult is gonna like tie into that and all that. But again, I know this was a little bit of a different video than normal. I hope y'all are still cool with it. I know that I'm excited. I'm excited for this chapter. But don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell me about your forever save file if you've got one. What was the sim that was like, oh, this has changed everything for me, huh? What was that sim like? But I will see y'all in the next video. Bye bye.